Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into the definitive guide to all 11 ESP32 system-on-chip variants available to developers in 2026. Look, if you've been feeling completely overwhelmed by the sheer alphabet soup of S, C, H, and P series chips that Espressif has been pumping out over the last few years, don't worry, you're in the right place. We are going to break down this entire family tree branch by branch so you know exactly which chip to pick for your next build. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the ecosystem exploded. I mean, we went from a single revolutionary chip back in 2016 to a massive family of 11 specialized branches today. What started as just a simple Wi-Fi and Bluetooth combo chip has basically evolved into a highly segmented lineup. We're talking everything from ultra-low power sensors to edge AI and high-res multimedia processors. Understanding this progression proves exactly why this taxonomy explainer is absolutely essential for modern hardware design.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, 1. The original and the Great Divide. 2. The S-Series, performance and AI. 3. The C-Series, connectivity and value. 4. The H-Series, the Mesh Masters. 5. The P-Series, multimedia powerhouse. And finally 6. Choosing your perfect chip.
Section 1. The original and the Great Divide. The baseline and the architecture shift. Okay, let's dive into this, because to really understand where the ESP32 family is going, we first have to understand where it started. We need a baseline anchor, right? And that's the original ESP32 from 2016. This is the classic dual-core powerhouse. It runs at 240 MHz on the Extensa LX6 architecture. It brought us Wi-Fi 4, and crucially, it supported both Bluetooth Classic and Bluetooth Low Energy. Pumping out around 600 DMIPS of raw processing speed, this is the gold standard we're going to use to compare all the newer chips. Honestly, it's still widely used today, and it remains one of the best general-purpose values on the market.
But as the ecosystem grew, Espressif made a massive strategic split. We like to call it the Great Divide. They started shifting away from the proprietary Tensilica Extensa architecture, which, powers the original and the high-performance S-Series. Instead, they rapidly went all in on RISC-V. RISC-V is an open-source instruction set, and it offers incredible power efficiency along with major silicon savings. Fast forward to today, and the C, H, and P series are all entirely built on this future-focused RISC-V architecture.
Section 2. S-Series, Performance and AI, the heavy lifters.
Now, the ESP32 S2 and S3 deliberately stayed on the older Extensa architecture, but for a very good reason. They are built to deliver heavy computational power and machine learning capabilities. These two share some really defining traits. Both use upgraded Extensa processors and feature native USB on-the-go ports. And that's actually huge. It means you can easily create custom USB human interface devices. Think custom keyboards, mice, or game controllers, all without needing a separate USB to serial chip. They also pack a massive GPIO count, up to 45 pins, which makes them the absolute go-to for peripheral-heavy hardware designs.
8. That's 8 megabytes. The ESP32 S3 supports up to 8 megabytes of integrated flash memory, paired with 512 kilobytes of SRAM. That is a massive, massive upgrade, and it really highlights the S3's capacity for heavy buffering, complex data logging, and running demanding camera applications right there on the edge.
But when you put the two S-Series chips side by side, there are some pretty fascinating quirks. For instance, the ESP32 S2 actually dropped Bluetooth completely. Yeah, completely. It became a Wi-Fi only, single-core chip that hits a super efficient 22 microamp deep sleep. It even threw in a digital to analog converter, a DAC. The S3, on the other hand, well, that's the true flagship of the series. It's a dual-core beast with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth LE 5.0. But the real kicker? The S3 includes processor instruction extensions, specifically engineered for AI acceleration. That makes it the undisputed favorite for machine learning and computer vision projects.
Section 3. C-Series, Connectivity and Value, the Smart Home Standard.
Now we get to the C-Series, which is a vast, highly efficient RISC-V-powered branch. This entire line was basically designed to conquer the modern smart home and replace older legacy Wi-Fi chips. So what unites the C2, C3, C5, C6, and C61? Well, they all use RISC-V processors, they are laser-focused on cost-effectiveness, and they represent Espressif's big transition into the Wi-Fi 6 era. Also, the higher-tier models introduce something called asymmetric multiprocessing. This means they pair a high-performance core with a low-power core. That little low-power core stays awake during sleep states to monitor sensors while just barely sipping battery life.
Think of the C-Series as having its own specific roadmap depending on what you need.
The C3 is your secure, budget-friendly Wi-Fi 4 replacement. But then you look at the C6. The C6 adds Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3, and 802.15.4 radios for Zigbee and Thread. That basically makes it the ultimate Matter-compliant smart home hub. Now, if you want Wi-Fi 6 but you're on a really strict budget, the C61 strips out the Thread support to save you some cash. And then there's the C5. The C5 is a total game changer. It's the only ESP32 chip that unlocks dual-band 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi 6, which is absolutely perfect if you're dealing with really congested wireless environments.
Now, what's really interesting here is the number 5. Just 5 microamps. That is the current that the C3 and C6 pull while in deep sleep. By taking full advantage of that RISC-V architecture and some seriously advanced power management, these chips have become the absolute battery-powered champions for remote IoT sensors.
Section 4. H-Series, the Mesh Masters. Wireless without Wi-Fi.
We call the H-Series the Mesh Masters because they represent a radical departure from the ESP32's original identity. To really grasp what they do, you have to understand Thread and Zigbee. These are IEEE 802.5.4 low-power mesh networking protocols. Unlike Wi-Fi, where every device has to connect to a central router, mesh protocols let devices talk directly to each other, passing messages along a chain. It's the backbone of the modern Matter smart home ecosystem. And the H-Series tips? They are built specifically to master these protocols, completely ditching Wi-Fi in the process. I know, building a Wi-Fi chip without Wi-Fi sounds crazy, but it's actually a strategic masterstroke for ultra-low-power battery-operated sensors.
Looking at the lineup, we have the ESP32H2 and the much newer ESP32H4. The H2 is a 96 MHz single-core RISC-V chip, and it's basically perfect for low-cost mesh endpoints. But the H4 takes this whole Wi-Fi-less concept right to the cutting edge. It brings dual-core processing, support for external PSRAM, and it upgrades to Bluetooth 5.4. That Bluetooth 5.4 integration is a big deal, because it means the H4 can handle Bluetooth low-energy audio. So suddenly, you have the perfect chip for battery-powered smart speakers and wearables that communicate over a Thread network.
Section 5. P-Series, Multimedia Powerhouse, redefining the microcontroller.
The P-Series is where things get wild, completely blurring the line between a traditional microcontroller and a high-end application processor. The ESP32P4 is loaded with hardware you'd normally only expect to find in smartphones or a Raspberry Pi. It features a dual-core RISC-V setup plus high-speed MIPI interfaces, again, the exact same hardware used in smartphones, to completely bypass the slow speeds of traditional SPI connections for cameras and displays. It has a hardware H.264 video encoder, an on-chip image signal processor, and a dedicated pixel processing accelerator. Long story short, it offloads graphic processing to dedicated hardware, ensuring buttery-smooth touchscreen interfaces at resolutions up to 1024 by 600. 400 MHz. That is the clock speed of the ESP32P4's dual-core RISC-V processor. To put that in perspective, it is roughly 2.5 times faster than the S3. This makes the P4 the absolute fastest CPU in the entire ESP32 lineage, giving it the raw compute power you actually need to push those high-resolution displays.
So the crucial point is, there is a catch. To get this incredible graphical processing power while keeping the silicon efficient, Espressif completely stripped out wireless networking. The ESP32P4 has no integrated Wi-Fi or Bluetooth whatsoever. None. If your multimedia project requires an internet connection, you're going to need to pair the P4 with a companion chip, like an ESP32C6.
Section 6. Choosing your perfect chip. The 2026 Buyer's Guide.
We have covered a lot of ground today, right? From the original extensor roots to the RISC-V revolution and all these highly specialized branches. So let's break down your ultimate cheat sheet. If you just need a general-purpose board with the best value and Bluetooth Classic, stick to the original ESP32. If your project involves machine learning, edge AI, or custom USBs, the ESP32S3 is your flagship. Building a modern smart home hub? Grab the Wi-Fi 6 and Matter-ready ESP32C6. If you're deploying dozens of battery-powered sensors on a mesh network and don't need Wi-Fi, the ESP32H2 is your champion. And finally, if you're building an industrial touchscreen or a high-res smart display, the ESP32P4 offers unmatched multimedia dominance.
The ESP32 is no longer just a single chip, folks.
It is an incredibly diverse ecosystem, engineered to dominate literally every niche of the Internet of Things. With 11 specialized variants spanning AI, Wi-Fi 6, mesh networking, and high-end multimedia, which ESP32 will power your next big idea? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy building.